Welcome to the Untitled podcast, and oh my God, UFC 281 just happened, and it was awesome. Tyler,
Facts.
well, we got Tyler here. I know a lot of people viewed in last time to see Tyler. Why? I don't know, but we got a lot to talk about with this pay-per-view. First off, forget the titles, but Alex Pereira is going to be on the cover of UFC 4.
Gonna be heat.
Bro, it's a game that's been out for 2 years. He's gonna be on the new cover. Whatever. But in all
Yes.
seriousness, that was actually a very, very good card. And before we talk about the main card, I did want to talk about a couple of the prelims. The first fight I wanted to talk about was between Ryan Spann and Dominic Reyes. Yeah, how do you? I know I'm not. Let me just get this off my chest. I'm not a fighter. I never claimed to be a fighter. but but how did how do you get knocked out by a jab like that?
Yeah, I was thinking the same
It
thing.
looked very brutal too. It looked like he got a full hook in, but it was a straight
Yeah, yeah.
jab. I can't tell if Ryan Spann has the hands of Christ or if Dominic Reyes has a chin of glass. So
I think he just has a weak chin.
all right, and then the other fight I wanted to talk about was between Erin Blanchfield and Molly McCann.
Oh man, I'm so
Molly,
mad about that one.
Molly, what happened?
I was
What
pissed.
happened? Nah, but in all seriousness, it sucks to see her lose. It'll definitely be interesting to see what is next for her. But that Kimura that Erin Blanchfield got in was nasty. That was sick.
Yeah, she definitely outworked there on the ground.
All right, now let's get into the main card. We have our first fight, Dan Hooker being victorious. Now, watching through the fights, I was able to jot down a few things just to talk about, because, I mean, you forget things, whatever.
Yeah.
Hooker came into this fight as the favorite. This other guy, I'm not even going to say his name because he doesn't deserve it. But this other guy, I don't understand how he's gotten this far in the UFC fighting the way he has, the way he has been. Do you have anything you want to say on his fighting style?
It was very boring, in my opinion. I was watching a fight and I was kind of bored.
Not only that, but I just feel like it's such a rare submission to get, and to be a specialist and only go for those type of submissions. I feel like you're just not going to
Mhm.
find any success whatsoever. But whatever. Hooker actually moved up in the weight class to take this fight, which is interesting. I didn't know that.
He
Hooker,
moved up to where?
say that again.
He moved up to lightweight?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think this was his second fight in lightweight.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then obviously Hooker was a very, very much better on the feet and even on the ground. In that first round, the other guy was able to get him in sort of a tight situation, but he was able to get out of it pretty quickly and pretty easily. So kind of shut that down. And then obviously in the second round, a couple kicks to the body ultimately rendered him useless. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing here. If you want to add on to anything I just said.
And to be honest, I didn't really watch that fight. I watched it, but in and out.
Yeah, no, I was definitely more. I was definitely more. I was paying more attention to my phone than the
Hmm.
actual fight. So I agree. This next fight kills me to talk about just because I'm such a huge Frankie Edgar guy. But in his retirement fight, he did get knocked out in pretty spectacular fashion. It sucks, especially they showed his family sitting right there right before the
Oh
fight
yeah,
started. I can
that
only
was messed.
imagine how that feels.
Yeah,
That sucks. But Chris Gutierrez, he looks like the real deal.
yeah, he's definitely gonna be a problem in the bantamweight division.
He looks. I can't tell if he looked faster than he actually was, just because Edgar looked very slow. But he looks very fast,
Yeah,
like freakishly fast. Like yeah, it's scary. But yeah, obviously Edgar had a pretty great career. Definitely sucks to see him go out like that, but most of those legends ultimately do end up ending their careers on their backs like that. So yeah, it sucks. Now we get into the big boy fights.
This
Michael
is a good
Chandler
fight.
versus Dustin Poirier. Now, before I even say anything, I just want to get your opinion on this. What are your final takeaways from that fight?
That fight, it didn't end the way I thought, but I'm not mad about the ending.
Oh, so you wanted Poirier to win, is what you're saying?
I
May I say that again?
I had him winning by a decision, but he won by
Mhm.
submission. Yeah, I didn't think he had that in him, but
Actually, speaking about that, I saw, I believe Daniel Cormier said it, but that was actually the first time Michael Chandler's ever been submitted in his MMA career professionally.
oh wow.
Yeah, that was the first time. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I think out of all the fighters on the UFC roster, I feel like he has the best stuff. I feel like he has the grappling. I feel like he has the striking. I just think his emotions really gets in the way of him winning fights.
Yeah, facts.
His pride gets in the way. I mean, they were chirping at each other during the fight. I'm pretty sure Chandler wanted to get a pretty big knockout, like after Tony Ferguson. He's a
Yeah.
very exciting fighter, but being a exciting fighter like that has a that it definitely pays dividends. Okay, I guess I could talk about what I just wrote down. Poirier going into that fight was actually the favorite, very minimal favorite, but he was the favorite. Obviously, in the first two rounds, I would say Chandler actually won the first two rounds. I don't know if you had that on your scorecard or your scorecards, but
Yeah, I did. I had him winning
yeah,
both rounds.
Chandler definitely won the first two rounds. Poirier, I also wrote that Poirier almost seemed like he was feeling Chandler out in that first round. It didn't seem like he was throwing a lot. It kind of seemed like he was just getting a feel for the environment, just trying to see what he was going to throw, things like that.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously, in the second round, Chandler had him on the ground for a majority of the round, and I just want to say how disgusting Michael Chandler is. Jesus, oh my God, he was pouring blood all over him. There was one point where I believe Chandler was actually in full mount on top of Poirier, and all you see is just a waterfall of
I
blood
saw
go
that.
down
Yeah,
onto
yeah,
Poirier's face. And then all you have to do in that scenario is just turn away and try to not get blood in your face. I mean, that's I can only imagine. I mean, even after he turned onto his back, you could see him trying to wipe the blood out of his eyes, and it's definitely not it worked to Chandler's advantage, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to say Poirier got lucky because he didn't. He got that takedown fair and square. He got that chokehold fair and square. You don't submit somebody for the first time in their career by getting lucky. I'm not going to say that at all. But if he didn't get that, he was going to lose that fight.
yeah, definitely.
So now I want to talk about what's next for both fighters. For Poirier, I feel like I don't think he's ready for the title yet. I mean, obviously Makhachev is fighting Wolf Kanowski, but even if they weren't fighting, I don't think he's ready yet. So I think he should either fight Darush,
Hmm.
who I feel like at this point in time is set up to be next in line to fight for the belt. But if he needs to fight somebody, he should fight Poirier. Or we see him fight Justin Gaethje for a second time.
I was about to say that, yeah, those two fighting again, that'd be a good fight.
Very different fight
Or
too.
or Chandler and Gaethje. I'd like to see that one again.
Chandler and Gaethje again.
That was a good fight.
And I guess Chandler has to get a couple more wins under his belt because I definitely don't consider him in the title picture right now after that
No,
loss.
he has to beat someone in the top five.
Yeah, which is on to my next point, who I think should be next for Chandler. I think out of everybody that I've seen on the on that rankings list or whatever you call it, the only person I could see really getting a chance against Chandler is Rafael Fiziev. Just came off a win off RDA. He's trying to fight somebody in the top five, and I think Chandler's his gateway into the top five ranking.
I think that's a fair fight. I would like to see that.
Obviously, Chandler would have to accept, and I don't think Chandler wants to fight anybody that's not in the top five. But
Yeah,
he's either lost. I'm pretty sure he's fought everybody that's in the top five right now. So,
I would personally like to see Chandler and Colby Covington
oh, so
just
he moves weight divisions.
just to see because he obviously could make welterweight.
Oh no, did you see how much weight he cuts? I saw a picture of him and look,
Yeah,
it's insane. Oh my God.
I think that would be a pretty good fight.
I agree. I agree. I mean, if he's interested in moving weight divisions, I definitely see that being a fight to be made. Or not that I think this would happen. And I'm pretty sure if this did happen, I would know who wins this fight. But Chimaev, Chimaev and Chandler.
Chimaev and Chandler.
Now,
I
obviously, this
don't
is a
really.
hypothetical. Probably never
Yeah,
ever gonna happen. But it
yeah, I don't see that.
it's a possibility. Very small,
You're right.
very small possibility, but it is a possibility. All right. I guess we can get into our next fight, the co-main event of the evening. We had Wei Li versus Carla Esparza. Not gonna lie, a better fight than I thought it was gonna be. Not gonna lie. Should Carla Esparza have had the title in the first place? No. I guess it's nice to see Wei Li back with the title. I guess we could just go in through a couple of the things that I wrote down. Obviously, I wrote down how she won a Mickey Mouse title. This definitely should not have had this title to begin with. Um, and now, actually, before we get into the everything else, because I mean, I had the presumption that Wei Li was gonna win, so I kind of figured out what should be Thug Rose's path back to the title. I think that Thug Rose should have to fight Amanda Lemos, and then the winner of that fight would end up fighting Wei Li Zhang. Just because there's really nobody
Good pick.
else. I mean, unless you want to put on Jessica Andrade, but there's
No,
nobody
I think
else.
your take is good. Yeah.
I mean, I was looking through the rankings. She just moved up 4 spots. She's ranked number
Mhm.
3. Rose is still number 1. So, I feel like that's a fight to make. Wei Li coming into this fight was one of the biggest favorites of the night.
Yeah.
She was a minus 380 favorite. Definitely scared. Definitely not. Nobody's making money on that fight.
Nah,
Carla.
but you're making the money on this main event though.
Oh, oh my God, yeah. But I wrote I wrote down something pretty interesting. Well, something that I found interesting. Carla Esparza's walkout, being in the ring. She looked like
Mhm.
an NPC. It looked like she did not want to be there whatsoever.
Yeah.
She just stood there with a straight face. It honestly surprises me how well she was able to keep a straight face with Bruce Buffer yelling in her face and trying to get her hype. I
Yeah, yeah.
that's insane. Whatever. Also, I don't know what the game plan for Esparza was either, because obviously she tried to get a couple takedowns in, but majority of the fight was on the feet. So I don't know if she was planning on staying on the feet, trying to outstrike her. Bad
hmm
idea if that was the case, but ultimately it didn't matter because I would say Wei Li Zhang had probably one of the best looking submissions I've ever seen. That was awesome.
Yeah.
She was able
It
to
was a
get
good
her
submission,
into
yeah.
crucifix, and then she was able to flip her on her back while still in the crucifix, choke her out. It looked insane. Mind you, this is technically supposed to be the best women's grappler in that division, and she did that. That's insane. But I guess my question if Thug Rose and Whaley fight for a third time, does the outcome is the outcome different?
Um, no, I think Rose's loss, the title fight, was a fluke.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
I think it'll be. I think Rose might actually come out with the win again.
I don't know. I feel like Wei Lee is different. I know she changed camps. She's in Thailand now. She's not training in China anymore. She's training somewhere in
Oh, right. I
Thailand.
didn't know that. Yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
she's under new management, and it looks like whatever she's doing is working. I mean, that was a masterful performance. And in our main event of the evening, we had Israel Adesanya defending his championship and putting the cover of UFC 4 on the line against Alex Pereira. I mean, I'm not going to say it was the best fight. Kind of mid. I'm not going to lie. Kind of
Yeah,
mid.
it was a mid fight. Mid
But,
fight.
but the parts that were good were very, very good. That was,
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I would definitely say Adesanya's past couple fights have not been very entertaining. This has definitely been his most entertaining fight in recent memory. I don't know if you would
I
agree with
agree.
that.
Yeah. No, I agree to that definitely.
Okay. And I guess we could talk about what I got on my list right here. Obviously, first thing I wrote down, winner gets to be on the cover of UFC 4. Very prestigious. I did end up writing down a couple things for Adesanya if he won. I did write down that if Israel Adesanya won, the only person that he wouldn't have beaten in the top 7 in that division would have been Sean Strickland. And he's beaten Marvin Vittori and Robert Whitaker twice. So that's interesting. But
Yeah.
obviously that doesn't matter anymore. So Adesanya coming into this fight was a minus 215 favorite.
Could have made some dough off of
Uh,
this fight.
definitely
Jeez.
not definitely not the biggest favorite that he's been in his fights, but you could definitely make some money on. You definitely could have made some money on this fight. something pretty funny that I wrote down. I don't know if they had a little gentleman's agreement in the back before the first round started, but for some reason they weren't using their hands. They were only kicking each other for some reason.
Yeah.
They weren't clinching. They weren't throwing hands. They were just kicking each other.
Yeah, I guess
That
they
was a
were.
little
That's a
awkward.
sign of feeling each other out. I don't really.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I understand you're both kickboxers, but I mean, oh my god. One thing I did notice was that Alex Pereira was noticeably bigger than him by a large margin.
He's definitely like 200 plus
Oh, for sure.
fighting.
I mean, I saw this. He posted a video, if not this morning, then last night, that after the weigh-ins, he went back. Obviously, he ate, he drank water, whatever. He was weighing on the scale at around like 210, 215.
Yeah.
That championship bout was supposed to be around 180, right? Middleweight's 180 or
I think
185.
185. Yeah,
Yeah.
185.
That's an insane advantage. And obviously we saw what happened when he fought Blachowicz when Blachowicz had that size advantage. I mean, he just didn't it did not translate well. Also, in the first round, Adesanya did clip him with a pretty hard shot right at the buzzer. I
Hmm.
thought that was gonna play a little more into the fight, but he got right back into the second round. Almost didn't it didn't phase him at all. Looked like almost. And then later throughout the fight, second, third round, fourth round, Adesanya started to incorporate the clinch. We even seen a little bit of grappling from him. And I'm not gonna
Yeah, that
say the
was odd.
grappling was the best, or even say that Adesanya did a good job, but he was better than Pereira, and I guess that's all that counts. um, Going into the fifth round, I don't know how you had the score, but I had Adesanya up 3 rounds to 1.
I had 3 to 1 too. Yeah,
I forget which round I gave Pereira. I think I
I gave
probably gave
Pereira
Pereira the
one.
first or second round.
Yeah, I gave him one.
I don't know which round I gave him, but obviously the one thing I think that really drove him into hyperdrive was Glover Teixeira telling him in the corner, "Hey, you're down. You're down in this fight. It's knockout or bust." And mind you, the first 4 rounds, he was feeling him out. He wasn't really throwing his own shots. He was more or less reacting to Adesanya's strikes. And we saw what he was able to do when he was throwing his own strikes and not reacting to Adesanya. Obviously, he got that knockout. A little bit of a controversial knockout. Probably could have gone a little farther, but I do ultimately think it was a pretty good stoppage.
Yeah, no, that was a good stoppage. She was getting rocked.
I mean, I don't want to demonstrate, but he was he was against the cage, and his head was down like this, and he was still standing up. That's a prime knee to the face. That
Yeah,
could
and he
end your
was eating
career.
like eight or 10 punches. So
Mind you, we've seen what Pereira can do with his knees and his legs. Oh my God, Adesanya could have died.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that was. I guess. I mean, obviously, on the thumbnail, we're saying what's next. What's next? Obviously, it's a
Hmm.
rematch. It's a rematch with Adesanya. He
I would
deserves
like
it.
to see that.
I
Yeah,
mean, even if nobody wants to see, he deserves it. I mean, he's been the champion for so many years now. You don't just move on. Like you just don't.
yeah, no, that'd
And
be a good one.
I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. I don't know if you want to add anything else while I'm trying to jog my memory.
I just feel like Israel and Adesanya could have finished that fight way before the fifth round.
Oh, agreed. I think he
He
suffered
was,
from Anderson Silva. Anderson
yeah,
Silva,
he was toying with him that whole fight. Like
yeah,
he could have
very
finished that
Anderson
in like the
Silva
third
like.
round.
He's playing.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing with his food. Definitely, definitely annoying. I know what I was going to talk about. During the broadcast, they actually announced the co-main event for Volkanovski and Makachev. There's going to be an interim featherweight bout for the interim championship. Yair Rodriguez is going to be versing Josh Emmett for the interim featherweight championship.
I saw that. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
A little bit of a weird fight. I definitely think Yair Rodriguez deserves that shot, but Josh Emmett, I mean, no, he definitely does. I just think Arnold Allen also deserves the shot, and I feel like they could have fought to kind of figure that out and have not, and probably not even need that interim championship to begin with.
Yeah, I think they really sold Allen. He should have fought, not
Yeah,
Josh.
I agree.
But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm still interested in the fight. Josh throws haymakers. Obviously, Yair Rodriguez, he throws those leg kicks that are very, very hard. Good with his hands. And yeah, I guess that's all we wanted to talk about for UFC 281. Great card. I don't know. I
It
don't know
was
if
a
you
good
would.
card.
I don't know if you would agree, but I think that was probably the one of one of, if not the best card of this year.
It was a good card. I think I have 280 right now. If that was the one with O'Malley.
Um, what was that? The last one? No, that was the last
Yeah.
one. That was 281. That was with
No, this was
Oliveira and
281.
Makachev, right?
Yeah, this was 281. Last one was 280.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. My bad.
I have 280 still. I like that card a lot because my boy won. But
17-0, baby. It's the
of
Sugar
course,
Show.
we getting that belt next year.
Yes, sir. Obviously, I think he's gonna have to probably fight Chito Vera before he gets that shot, but
And I'm ready for that fight.
I'm
That's
ready
gonna
for
be
that.
such a good
That's gonna
fight.
be that. I'm. Oh my god, they won't make it 5 rounds, but I would love it if it was 5 rounds. A
They
fight
might
night,
if they make an
fight night
intern
main
belt
event,
for the intern belt though, because
interim.
Sterling
Wow,
said because he said he doesn't want to fight until June, so
bro,
that's a minute.
Sterling's so whack. He's a fake champion. He's a fake champion. If Dillashaw wasn't hurt before that fight, he would have destroyed Sterling.
He had a dislocated shoulder
He
for
got
a
a
round.
dislocated shoulder during the fight and still made it to
Yeah,
the next round. How do you not put him away? And you're a grappler. It mind boggles
yeah.
me.
And they were on the ground for the whole round, so I don't know how he didn't finish him.
Whatever. He literally had his shoulder popped in the middle
Yeah.
of his in between rounds. Whack, 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 whack. Well, I guess that's all I wanted to talk about on the Untitled podcast today. It's going to be uploaded at a little bit of a weird time, but I want to make sure I get this out while everybody's still searching UFC 281 and the results and all those things.
Yeah,
Tyler, I appreciate you being on. Obviously, the people
appreciate
really
it.
like you on the podcast. Obviously, with our last episode together, doing as well as it's doing right now. So I don't know if you want to say some farewell words or anything.
Nah, yeah, let's like it up. You
Word, like up the video. Obviously, subscribe. It's very much appreciated. And I will see you guys tomorrow with a NFL recap of NFL Sunday. Peace out.